will expand for him, and he will see the goodness and the happiness that is in it. Then he will be quiet for a period that Allah wills him to remain quiet for, and then he will say, O my Lord, admit me into paradise. Allah will say, Did you not give your promises and pledges that you would not ask for me for other than what I gave you? Woe unto you, O son of Adam, how treacherous you are. He will say, O my Lord, so that I will not be the most wretched of your creation. He will continue to invoke Allah until he will laugh from him. Then he will say to him, Enter paradise. Then he will enter it, and Allah will say, Wish, and he will ask Allah, and wish you until Allah reminds him of such and such, until he has no more wishes. Then Allah will say, This is for you, and what is equal to it along with it. It was Abu Hurairah not answering to anyone from his hadith until Abu Hurairah said, Indeed, Allah said to that man, and what is equal to it along with it? Abu Sa'id said, and 10 times more along with it. Abu Hurairah said, I have not memorized except for his saying, This is for you, and what is equal to it along with it. Abu Sa'id said, I bear witness that I indeed memorized from the Messenger of Allah his saying, and for you is that, and 10 times more. Abu Hurairah said, and that man is the last of the dwellers of paradise to enter paradise. This is the wording of Muslim. Then he related it through another chain from Abu Sa'id, all of it being the same except for the following. He is given that and 10 times more, and the following is mentioned in some of its narrations. He is moved from the hellfire to the gate of paradise in 3 stages. At each stage he sits under a tree, and each tree is better than its sister, which is the one before it. Muslim related it through Ibn Masud with the wording, and 10 times more, just as Abu Sa'id memorized it. And Allah, how perfect He is greatest and most generous. Also related it from Ibn Masud with the wording, and 10 times more. And al-Bukhari related from Abdullah that the Prophet said, Verily, I know the last of the dwellers of the hellfire to come out of it, and the last of the dwellers of paradise to enter paradise. A man will come out of the hellfire crawling. Then Allah will say to him, Go and enter paradise. And then he will go to it, and he will imagine it to be full. He will return and say, O my Lord, I found it to be full. Then he will say, Go and enter paradise. For you is what is equal to the world, and 10 times more. Or, for you is what is equivalent to 10 times more than the world. He will say, You are making fun of me, or you are laughing at me, and you are the king. Abdullah said, I saw the Messenger of Allah laugh until his molars appeared, and it would be said that is the lowest of the people of paradise in terms of ranking. Ibn Umar reported that the Messenger of Allah said, Indeed, the last one to enter paradise is a man from Juhayna, who himself is called Juhayna. The people of paradise will say, With Juhayna is the news of certainty. Ask him, is there any created being that remains through Malik? This hadith cannot correctly be ascribed to Imam Malik. because those who relate from him here are unknown. Had it really been from him, it would have been in the famous book that are related from him, such as al-Mawata and others, which the trustworthy ones related from him. What is strange is that Abu Abdullah mentioned it in at-Taqira and then evinced certainty about it. Then he related from Ibn Umar that the Messenger of Allah said, "The last to enter paradise is a man from Gehenna, who himself is called Gehenna. Then the people of paradise will say, with Gehenna is sure news, mentioned it as well and did not rule it to be weak." But another saying is related from as-Sahel, that his name is Hinnad, and Allah knows best. Reported that the Messenger of Allah said, "Verily, I know the last of the dwellers of paradise to enter paradise, and the last of the dwellers of hell to come out from it. A man will be brought on the day of resurrection, and it will be said to him, on such and such day you did such and such deed, and on such and such day you on such and such day you did such and such deed, and on such and such day you did such and such deed." He will say yes, not being able to deny it, and he is afraid that his major sins will be presented.